Strategy is the leadership's sense of vision for the overall direction of the organization or business. As I said earlier, most new businesses at least start with a general vision for the business but lack a clear plan to achieve that vision. Strategic planning is a coordinated and systematic process for developing a plan for the overall direction of an organization and the allocation of resources to optimize future potential. By going through the process, you significantly increase your chance of success of either reaching your vision or changing that vision to match the reality of your target market. Sometimes the process reveals that you are in the wrong market. Sometimes it reveals that you will avoid pain and expense by not starting the business you initially envisioned. If you build it, they will come may be a good theme for a fantasy movie, but it is not a good business strategy. It is possible to have a detailed plan that is unsound, inappropriate, or can't be implemented. No one can expect a plan based on bad assumptions and faulty or inadequate market research to produce good results. Similarly, if the results of the process are ignored, the time spent going through the process is wasted. Poorly communicating the vision and direction or getting the wrong people involved will not yield good results. Lack of commitment to either go through the planning process or to implement the resulting plan are a form of ignoring the results, and the result will be wasted time. An unforeseen market downturn may negate part of your plan, but this is minimized when attention is paid to address risk factors thoroughly. This leads to the last point on this chart. Your plan cannot be static. Change it to respond to internal and external changes. Okay, now that you understand better why planning is so important and some of the things to avoid when you are planning, let's take a look at one basic planning model. It has 7 steps, so it is not overly complicated. First, gather the information you need that is relevant to your market and perform a strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats analysis. Once again, as a general note of caution, regardless what planning framework you use, when you gather and analyze information, be honest with yourself or you will waste your time and resources. Your strengths are those things that you really do well. These are strengths you already have, not things that you want to have or think you need. They should form the foundation for your product or service offerings. Your weaknesses are the flip side of your strengths. What don't you do well, especially compared to other businesses in your market? Then look at what opportunities are available to you in your chosen market. The more specific you can be from the information you gathered, the better your analysis will be. Even if you don't include a lot of detail in your plan, you should have gathered sufficient backup detail to support your opportunities. The threats are those things that could cause you to fail, whether they are competitors, unknown or uncertain costs, economic uncertainty, or shifting buyer preferences. Second, your information and SWOT analysis feed into a strategic analysis. Your strategy analysis should build on your strengths and explore ways to mitigate or avoid your weaknesses. How can you differentiate yourself? What makes you better or unique? How can you exploit your competitors' weaknesses? Are you in the right business? And if not, how can you shift your products or services to get into the right business? A mission statement can be complex and nuanced, but rather than spending a lot of time writing your mission statement, make it a simple and straightforward statement of what you do. I tell my clients that the mission statement is very much like your elevator speech, short and to the point. Who are you and what do you do? One of the questions I ask is whether you are in the right business. Before we go on to the other steps of this framework or any other framework, please understand that if you find something that is wrong in the plan, take the time to drop back a step or more and correct the plan. Don't move forward with what you know is wrong or won't work. Keep what is good and change what doesn't fit. Once you have made a decision about where you want to go, choose your strategic goals and how you want to get there. At this point, you are at 30,000 feet, but don't allow yourself to just write generic strategies. Make them specific and achievable. Fourth, when you decide where you are going and the general approach to achieve your goals, break those goals down into specific objectives that will take you step by step to your goals. The acronym SMART describes your objectives: specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. This makes your tactical planning relatively easy. Fifth, tactical planning is pulling together the people, funding, and other resources you need and following the what and how that you have already determined. The result is your implementation plan or your action plan. This is how you turn your vision into reality. You have gone through all the other work to get to this point. Sixth, I recommend incorporating all the information you gather and the plans that resulted into the SCORE business plan outline. We will spend more time with this later. By the way, unless you are going to prepare your business plan for outside review and comments or for loans or investments, the primary purpose of putting everything into the business plan is to have a clear, cohesive document you can review and use to monitor your progress. Number 7. This is the final step: monitoring and controlling your progress against the plan. If you have followed the SMART approach, you will know if you are on track to achieve your goals or if corrective action or other changes are needed. Now that we have gone through a basic planning framework, many of the same ideas apply to other frameworks. Let's look at them to gain additional insight.